Have you ever wondered what Ayanokoji's type in women, either in personality or body type? Back in volume 7.5, Ayanokoji said he actually wants a cheerful girlfriend to balance his gloomy personality. He wanted someone talkative so he could just listen without feeling awkward. As for the body type, it's kind of obvious that he likes women with sexy figures. The most obvious example is a scene in volume 4, where Ayanokoji caught Ichinose sleeping in the room. He cannot fight his natural instinct to look at her thighs, then her legs, then her face, and then her breasts, and then back to her thighs. Ever since the first volume, Ayanokoji has often made a comment about breasts, with Horikita's breasts being the perfect size become the most famous ones. On the contrary, Ayanokoji rarely made any naughty comment about the girls who have smaller breasts than Horikita. Even when he was dating Karizawa, he rarely pointed out the feminine figure of his girlfriend, so it's safe to assume that Ayanokoji has more interest toward the bigger one. If we had a cheerful girl and big breasts together, then Ichinose will come out as an answer. However, despite being madly in love with him, Ichinose never truly gets Ayanokoji's romantic attention. On the contrary, Hiyori, who is a quiet girl with below-average breasts, managed to steal his attention, so it's clear that Ayanokoji's personal preference doesn't really matter in love. Since we are talking about Ayanokoji's taste in women, let's talk about the other boys as well, because this is a topic that rarely gets any attention in this series. Since half of the female characters never have any interaction with a man other than Ayanokoji, we rarely see any couples in this series, so we could only guess their type of woman based on their actions so far. For example, Koenji clearly told us that he strongly prefers older women. Back in the first volume, he was spotted sitting in the cafe while surrounded by a group of seniors, and Kushida herself said he is popular among the third-year girls. While we never actually saw him going on a date, this little detail about Koenji is consistent with his behavior of calling everyone with girl and boy. Koenji is the oldest student in his grade, so if he doesn't consider his classmates to be his equal, there is only a small chance he will end up dating them. However, there are actually two cases where Koenji was shown having an interest toward younger girls. The first one was his mysterious affection toward Michan, and the second one was when he asked Horikita to spend the night with him. His relationship with Michan might be nothing related to romance, and his invitation might be just a teasing joke, so Koenji is still live up to his name as the genius older woman lover. As for the other boys from Horikita's class, I think both Ika and Yamauchi would be fine as long as it's a woman, but Sudo surprisingly doesn't have that much interest toward the opposite sex. It's true that he had a crush on Horikita, but his crush has nothing to do with preference. He once asked about his cute junior in the basketball club, but Sudo said he doesn't really pay attention. Even when Hirata said some junior asked for his number, Sudo just brushed it off as a joke. Perhaps Sudo has already burned all his sexual desire through basketball, so he doesn't really have time to think about whether he prefers big breasts or not. As for Hirata, it's a bit questionable whether he actually prefers a woman or not, so let's just put this question aside and never bring it up again. Next we have Ryuen, which is quite interesting to talk about, because ever since his introduction, he clearly shows an unhealthy interest toward Horikita. In Volume 3, he invited her to have a private talk with him in his tent, and in Volume 5 he arrogantly said he wanted to squeeze her bottom. Other than Horikita, Ryuen has also shown the same interest toward Ibuki, and the biggest similarity between Horikita and Ibuki is their physical ability and strong personality. Based on their cases, Ryuen most likely likes strong women who don't simply obey whatever he says. Perhaps he enjoys destroying them just like how he forced Horikita to kowtow, or maybe he secretly likes to be dominated. However, ever since his greatest downfall in the hand of Ayanokoji, Ryuen soon left all his interest toward Horikita. He wanders around aimlessly, but once he manages to come back, all his attention is now placed on Ayanokoji. It's already become a long-time joke that Ryuen is actually the best girl in this series, and the number of fans who ship him with Ayanokoji cannot be taken lightly. If Ayanokoji could completely erase Horikita from Ryuen's mind, and make him obsessed for almost 2 years, then for better or worse, maybe Ryuen is indeed attracted to strong people, no matter if they are girls or boys. As for his classmates, they pretty much have a normal taste in women. Ishizaki likes the girls who have a big breast, Kaneda likes a girl who is calm and intelligent such as Hiyori, and Komiya likes Shinohara for whatever reason. Move to the other two classes. There was rarely a moment where the boys from Ichinose and Sakayanagi's class got a spotlight, so it's a bit harder to predict their taste in women. Among them, Hashimoto type of woman might be the easiest to predict. He seems like a player, and he's indeed had a girlfriend for a short period of time. However, he actually had a lot of interest toward Komuro. From Hashimoto's quote in the second-year website, Hashimoto admits that he is interested in Komuro, and sometimes he makes a move to get close to her, but Komuro keeps kicking him away. He likes to tease her, and even call her by her first name without permission, so they actually have quite a strong dynamic. This is just my speculation, but maybe the reason why Hashimoto the trader is interested in Komuro is because Komuro is always honest with herself and with others. Maybe Hashimoto saw his reflection in Komuro, and that turned into a sad one-sided crush that ended so absurdly. It's quite poetic that Hashimoto had a hand in Komuro's expulsion, but I guess he does not really like her that much. Move to Ichinose's class. We knew that Shibata likes Ichinose, and Watanabe likes Amikura, but what exactly they like about them was never really explained. I think it's just natural for the boys to like Ichinose. Not only her personality is such a bliss, but she also has a body that is liked by the majority of men. It's a shame Ayanokoji was never romantically interested in her, but so far Ichinose is the girl with the most confirmed admirer, with Shibata, Hosen, and even Nagumo trying to get her attention. Speaking of Nagumo, he once said that he is not interested in Ichika, and he also doesn't have a romantic feeling toward Asahina. So, he probably has no interest toward a girl with smaller breasts than Ichinose, or maybe just like Ryuen, maybe he is actually gay for Manabu. The fact that he was obsessed and kept following him is something that always bothered me, but let's just stop questioning him and move on to the next person. As for Horikita Manabu, his taste in women is the one with short hair. It's unclear how he got such a taste, but he already liked them ever since his sister was still in grade school. Whether it's intentional or not, Tachibana, who always clinging on his side, was a woman with short hair. I like to think that Tachibana actually asked him about his preference, but Manabu made it clear that there is nothing going on between them, so let's spend a few seconds to pray for our favorite secretary. Speaking of short hair, I think it's funny how Horikita is somehow surrounded by short-haired women such as Ibuki and Kushida. Since Horikita Manabu prefers a short-haired woman, maybe his taste is actually hereditary from his parent, so there's always a chance he shares the same taste with his sister. I don't want to judge Horikita, but she did have a soft spot when it comes to Ibuki and Kushida. She occasionally provides dinner for them, and if their relationship were Yuri's story, we could probably agree that Horikita will be the one on top, so her taste in women is actually important. Anyway, it's sad to think that this male character's taste in women would be useless at the end. After all, this story revolves around Ayanokoji, and all the girls would eventually flock to him. Needless to say, just because the character loves a big breast, it doesn't mean they will end up with one. Love and desire are inseparable, but doesn't mean they will stop at the same person. Desire is simple, but love is still a mystery, and that's why Ayanokoji chose Hiyori instead of Ichinose.